Where's Batman? Fuck Batman.
These are the first words we've heard Robin utter in a live format since 1997's Batman and Robin. Good job, DC. Let me preface this video with the fact that I love DC and DC Comics. I grew up on Batman the Animated Series. I think it still holds up today and is a pinnacle for what Batman should be in media. It holds true to the character so well. The art design, everything about it is stupendous. But therein lies the problem. Batman is DC's most popular character. And because he is dark, they feel that's the formula to get the rest of their characters off the ground. So often DC finds the need to ground these characters in the real world, when none of this shit is real. I can't relate to Superman. I cannot fly. I cannot lift a building over my head. Superman is supposed to be better than me. Superman is supposed to be the ideal which we strive for. But you ground him out in this person who has daddy issues, and he's a loner, and he's a wanderer. It's a miracle that Superman didn't become a meth head in DC's most recent take on the character. You're probably wondering to yourself, what does this have to do with the Titans trailer? The subject of this video is that DC is not being true to its characters. Let's take Robin, for example. The boy wonder. The kid who jumps around with a 30-year-old man around buildings fighting crime at the age of 12. And he acts like it's the best thing in the world. Robin is supposed to be the light to Batman's dark. Dick Grayson was always seeing the brighter side of life, never overshadowed by his parents' death. Eventually, in most media, Robin, Dick Grayson, gets tired of how Batman handles business and eventually goes out on his own to create his own moniker of Nightwing. This doesn't mean Robin gets more violent. This means Robin tries to see the best in people. Dick Grayson tries to see the best in people. Most of the time, Dick is trying to gain the approval of Batman and show him that his way can work as well. Because of this, he has a strained relationship with Batman. I get it. Yeah, there's some tough feelings there. But that doesn't mean that character that's lighthearted goes fuck Batman. What bothers me most is that DC knows it has to rebound from the failures of Justice League and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And yet, in this trailer, you have Robin satiring Batman. It's like nobody at Warner Brothers pays attention to what the public consensus is. You have such a back catalog of wonderful comic book storylines that you can go off of for these things. And yet, directors and story writers choose to do their own thing. When I look at a Marvel movie, I'm like, damn, that is my childhood brought to life. Now, when I look at a DC movie, it's mostly meh. Now, I will say there are a few exceptions to this rule. As I mentioned earlier, the Wonder Woman movie was great. I really love CW's Flash. Legends of Tomorrow has its ups and downs, but overall, it's a pretty wonderful show. It doesn't deep seat us in dark shit constantly. Supergirl is just filled with lollipops and glitter. And that's not me trying to oversimplify Supergirl. I think it's a fantastic show. Greg Berlanti does a great job with it. Arrow, on the other hand, is deep-seated in darkness, but that kind of works for that hero. He's a ground-level hero. He works out on the streets, and it's done well. This fucking trailer looks like it's fan-made. And I know I'm going back and forth, but let's talk about one of the most egregious parts of the trailer, where it appears that Robin is killing people. Someone gets stabbed in the throat. Robin takes a gun out of someone's hand, starts shooting aimlessly, steps on someone's chin. Maybe this is the trailer being a little bit misleading, but that's not a good path to take, especially if you want your characters to be likable. This video is starting to feel like an ADD mess, but that's exactly what this trailer is. I got nothing about what this story is supposed to be about. I get that Raven's in it and that she's being chased by demons or some shit, and somehow Dick Grayson detective, which I've never seen in any form of media, is supposed to help her. Starfire looks like a homeless woman. Beast Boy isn't even changing into animals. It looks like he just grows claws and fangs, which gets me back to the point of the video. you're not being true to the characters. If you want someone to be dark in the show, have it be the villain, not the main characters. Dick Grayson's issue shouldn't be his daddy issues with Batman. He should be struggling trying to figure out who he is as a vigilante. He should be trying to find his footing as a leader of this team and forming it. Instead, he comes off as a foul-mouthed little bitch with daddy issues. Sounds familiar. Let's talk about Starfire for a second. She's being played by Anna Diop. I think that's how you pronounce her name. This woman is freaking beautiful in real life, and they just make her look like a train wreck in this trailer. Mind you, her race is like cat humanoids in the comics, but Koriander's one of the most beautiful characters in comic books. What the fuck is this? She's not really wearing alien clothes. She looks like she's wearing street clothes. That's something I just don't understand. And I'm not saying costume is what makes a character, but it's the same problem I have with Iron Fist. Put on the fucking bandana and get it over with. There's so much hate for this trailer, she had to turn off the comments on her Instagram. And it's not even her fault. The trailer isn't bad because of her. The trailer is bad because of the tone and the direction they're taking these characters. Not to mention the quality of a trailer. I mean, who thought it was a good idea to release what looks like a fan-made trailer? I understand you probably don't have a huge budget being on DC's streaming service, but Jesus, put a little time and effort into it before you release this to the public. And I can't even really talk about Beast Boy yet because he didn't do anything in the trailer. He's just a kid painted green. We know that Beast Boy is not going to have anyone to talk to because DC's not going to allow for Cyborg to be in this show because he's in the freaking Justice League movie. My biggest suggestion to DC, if they don't want to ruin another one of their franchises, is shelve this freaking series. Go back to the drawing board and redo it. I know you've probably already spent time and resources into getting this pilot and probably entire season off the ground for your streaming service, but it needs to be better than this. People want DC to succeed. People want to see these characters brought to life the way we know them and remember them from our childhood, not some bastardized version of them. Justice League should have been a box office hit, just like the Avengers, if you had been true to the characters. In closing, I really hope they don't misstep with this show. I really hope they go back and cut a new trailer, and hopefully there's some better material in there than what we got. And if not, just put it back on the shelf. Come back to it when you know you got a good writer. You know the writer that you got actually cares about this franchise and isn't looking for a paycheck and isn't looking for their big break, who actually gives a shit about these characters. Because it seems like every outing we've had lately from DC, no one gives a shit about these characters. So, in closing, hope you guys liked the video. Sorry if I'm ranting a little bit. Leave a like and comment below. Let's keep the discussion going. Peace.